Hello. Okay, another one of my thoughts in a minute. Oh, I love my Slurpee. As I slowly get organised, yeah, I know. Beautiful weather today for ducks. Okay, this one is from Anon. Strange name. Okay, this guy said, you can read this out, Brian, no problem, but please don't mention my name. I check we're on, and we're ready to go. Okay, it's a bit of a long one, but Brian, your thoughts, please. I talk myself out of everything, and I mean everything. I don't do anything or go anywhere. Even if I get an invite to something, I end up thinking about it and talking myself out of it. Is there something simple I could try to free myself of this, please? I am starting to hate the person I have become. Don't hate yourself, you're just going through whatever you're going through. Or if you hear a little rattle, it's my belly because I'm hungry. Yeah, don't hate yourself. We become lots of different people in life, don't we? And we deal with different things and manage different things in different ways at different times in our lives. I know nothing about you, but what were you doing 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Maybe you were a very different person then. But, you know, don't hate the person that you've become. And you can change things. We can all change things to a degree. Some things are harder than others, but you can change things. I talk myself out of everything. I mean everything. I don't do anything or go anywhere. Even if I get an invite to something, I end up thinking about it and talking myself out of it. I wonder what you're thinking about it is. Is it anxiety? You haven't said a lot there really, but I don't know much about you. Is there something simple I could try to free myself of this? There are a number of little things that you could try actually. But just before we get into that, you end up thinking about it and talking yourself out of it. So somebody invites you somewhere and you think about it and think, no, it's not for me, I'm not going to go. Now, that's not a bad thing, is it? It's only kind of self-preservation, or you don't deal with people very well, or you can't be bothered, or whatever it is, you know. If you look at it on one level, but of course on another level, if it's happening all the time, and, you know, you said you never go anywhere, don't do anything ever, then that can be a problem. I'm very reclusive, but I still do things. I still go out and about. I still have people here. My friends, you know, certain friends have visited me. I've been out, I've visited friends. I've been to various different things and a couple of functions and stuff like that. I can't say that I've enjoyed it all, to be quite honest, but I don't force myself, but I pick and choose what I'm happy to do, really, you know. The more you think about it and talk yourself out of it, it's that thinking period, isn't it? And that's why I say maybe it's anxiety, because what is the worst thing that's going to happen? Somebody's invited you to, whatever, a party, okay? And then you think about it and you think, no, it's not for me. So what are you thinking when you're thinking? What are you talking yourself out of? Are you thinking, I'm going to be nervous, embarrassed, awkward? Is it, it's going to be too noisy for me? What is it? You know, and only you know that, of course, so you have to start working on those things, really. The odd thing is, our brains is wired, you know, to protect us. It's simple as that. So if we do think about anything, the answer will be no on most things. It doesn't matter what it is. The brain will protect you at all times. And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't understand what it is, but it's there to protect you. So if somebody invites you to do something dangerous, climb a mountain, walk over a rope bloody ladder between two mountains, And you think, oh God, that's dangerous. What about the wind? What if I fall? And then the brain kicks in, starts worrying and says, no, 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 don't do it. And that's kind of what's happening now with you, is that you don't do anything. So you spend time sort of pondering it, thinking it through, and your brain is kicking in and says, well, don't do it then. You know, you don't normally do it. You normally just sit at home or whatever you do. And that you're comfortable with that. So don't push yourself out of that little comfort bubble that you've got. So your brain is preventing you from doing it, and it's only to save you. It's to you know, stop you having any harm, or even like panic or worry or stress. The brain will stop you from getting any of that by allowing you to think it through, you know, and stopping you. But what you can try on that, you've got a little set time. We've all got a little set time where something happens, then we say no. And it's that to that. And it's a 5-second gap, roughly. And what you can do is, you can either try saying yes to everything for a week, really force yourself, put yourself out there, I don't go anywhere, I don't do anything. Well, go everywhere and do everything this next week. Absolutely force yourself, you know. Go shopping and try and talk to 10 different people. Have a chat with a lady on the till, somebody in the car park, somebody in the shop, whatever, you know. Force yourself. You could try forcing yourself out of your comfort zone, or that 5-second thinking time that you've got, do a countdown. It's no good counting up, you know, because do you remember as a kid you would say, coming to get you, I'm playing a game trying to find you, and you'd count up to 10, and to slow it down you'd say 8 and a half, 8 3/4, and then you get to 10, you couldn't find them, so you'd say, oh, 10 and a half, I'm now counting up to 15. So you give yourself a few more seconds or minutes even, whatever, so you can wobble about with that time. But when you count down, you can't go past 0, can you? You're done. So if you've got to do something, or you want to do something, give yourself 5 seconds. So you've got to make a phone call to a family member. Don't talk yourself out of it, because you will. I know what it's like sometimes. So start. Oh, I'm going to ring them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, like that. Give yourself that countdown. Only that 5 seconds. Force yourself quickly to do it. Because once you're doing it, things are never as bad as you seem, as you first think they may appear to be. They're never as bad as that. Never. Things are often far better, actually. You know, I've been out sometimes, and I haven't particularly wanted to, and typical my reclusive sort of nature kicks in, and I'd rather just be just me and my dog and a book, you know. But whatever. I forced myself to go out, and when I've done that, I thought this has been a really good evening, really did enjoy it. So it's a matter of forcing yourself sometimes, but also using that little countdown just stops you from having any thinking time. So if somebody next time, the next person that says to you, shall we go to the pub? You've got 5 seconds to answer that. And say 5, 4, 3, yes, and get your coat on and go to the pub, you know. But that putting the coat on is also another 5 seconds, because you'll talk yourself out of putting the coat on, and then you talk yourself out of leaving the house, you talk yourself out of starting the car. So you might need to do that 5 seconds again and again and again. But it's only 5 seconds, you can do that. It's an awkward situation that you've got yourself into as well, because it's kind of learned behaviour, and we're all guilty of that. We listen to parts of our brain that really we shouldn't. As I said, there's a self-preservation thing, but there's also the brain will kick in to make sure you're okay, to stop you from coming to any harm, things like that. So the brain now associates everything as causing you harm, because you've allowed it to go on and on and on, sort of unchecked. And now you said you don't go anywhere, you don't do anything. So the brain is kicking in. Unless you're doing whatever you normally do, your comfortable things, what do you do? Do you sit at home? Do you sit and watch television? Do you sit and read? Do you just sit and look out the window? All of that is comfortable with the brain. More than comfortable. But a knock at the door is not comfortable. So you may not answer the door because there may be danger. The brain says, oh no, that's not what we normally do. Let's not do that. Let's not open that door. Let's not open that letter. Let's not make that phone call. Let's not go and meet anybody. Let's not go for a walk. Let's do what we normally do. So you've talked yourself into that, and as I said, it becomes learned behaviour. You're comfortable doing that thing, whatever it is, sitting and watching television, say. So that's what you do 7 nights a week, so you're comfortable doing that. So as soon as somebody says, oh, let's have a walk around so-and-so and look at the autumn leaves on the trees, your brain kicks in straight away. No, we don't want to be doing that, because we normally, it's learned behaviour, we normally sit and watch television because we know that's comfortable. We know that that causes us no harm or stress or troubles or problems or worries. Let's just sit and watch television because we did last night and the night before and the night before. Let's just do that because it's comfortable. And you need to break through that comfort really by not listening really to the brain. Because when you say you talk yourself out of it, it's because you sit there and you cogitate and you sort of worry about things and you think, okay, I've been invited to so-and-so. Do I go? Oh, I've got nothing to wear. People don't care what you wear. Just go as you are. Oh, I don't really know where it is. Well, Google it then. I ain't got a lot of money. Great, go skin. And just say to the first person you meet, I got no bloody money, I don't know what I'm doing here. And they'll buy you a little drink, perhaps. Oh, I've got things to do at home. No, actually you haven't. If you've spent night after night after night at home, what could you possibly have to do? What more could you possibly have to do? Nothing, it's just excuses. And we can all make excuses, and I make excuses. I think we all do. I think anybody who's kind of reclusive, anybody who's sort of introverted, because I class myself sort of as an introvert, although I can be very extrovert as well. But anybody who's sort of introverted, you end up making excuses. Oh, I wouldn't know anybody at the party. I'm only saying party because I don't know what else to say really, but I don't know anybody at the party. I don't know where the party is. I wouldn't know how to get back home. I haven't got a lot of money. Oh, I'm feeling quite tired. Oh, that pain in my legs suddenly come on again. That's another favourite, is that when you feel socially awkward, that familiar pain comes back. You know, you get a series of headaches or things like that where you just cannot go. And most things are psychosomatic, and you bring them on yourself through worry, through fear of the unknown really. And what is the worst thing that could happen at the party? Probably you go and have a good time and you come back with a smile on your face. That's probably the worst thing. It's not bad, is it really? So I would say either spend the whole week now this week forcing yourself, make a series of phone calls. Phone family members, phone friends, phone work colleagues, whatever. Spend that time this week organising for next week. Just phone people and say, what are you up to next week? Any evening? I'm free all week. What are you up to? Should we go somewhere? Go to the cinema or go for a walk or go have a meal? Do you want to pop round to mine? I'll cook. Whatever. Just have lots to do in the week and don't listen to your brain. It's like having a holiday in a way. Park your brain, park those thoughts. When they come in, say, oh, you don't want to be going for a meal. Oh, no, you shouldn't go to the cinema. Just ignore it all. Because you're going to do it anyway. It doesn't matter how you feel and what you think. You're going to do it. So just force yourself. And that can be very good and very cathartic, really, because you'll find that by Wednesday or Thursday, it's so easy to do all of that and more. Or use that 5-second rule, really. You know, if somebody invites you, you've got 5 seconds, yes, you know, put your coat on, or shall I go or not? Well, no, put your coat on and go, you know, and then shall I start the car? Just start the bloody thing. You know, so you're still forcing yourself, but just cut it down to those little 5 seconds, if that makes any sense. But I wish you well. It's a difficult situation that you've got yourself into. Without knowing a lot more about you, I can't really comment on it, to be quite honest, because there could be underlying agoraphobia, there could be social atrophy, there could be many different things, really. You know, anxiety. You could be depressed as well, really, because when you're depressed, you kind of recoil from everything. Everything becomes a problem to you. So there's lots of stuff that is potentially going on there, but you know you. And if you're that concerned, I would go to the doctor and just have a chat with the doctor, really, and just see if anybody there has got any ideas or things like that you could try. And if you've done this for so long now that you really have got nowhere to go, you've lost your friends, nobody now invites you because you just don't go anyway, so eventually people stop inviting you. That's what I've found. And for me, that's fine, because I don't want an invite. Sorry, but I don't. But if it's gone on for so long, then you need to start thinking, okay, I need to recoup, rebuild. Years and years ago, I moved to a city that I didn't know anybody. And what I did, I picked up the local paper and I booked myself in for 2 night schools. And I wasn't very good at either of them, but I met people and we had a laugh and stuff like that. And it was somebody's birthday and they said, "Gonna pop down the pub, we're all going." I said, "Yeah." So there's things that you can do, really. You know, there's quite a lot of different things that go on in schools after the kids are finished. There's a lot of night schools, a lot of little classes, a lot of free stuff as well going on around. There's a lot of free pottery, things like that. So you could take up a new sport or activity or interest or whatever. If it's going on that, I don't know you, so I don't know. But I'm just thinking, if that was me and I was in that situation and trying to break it, I would look to give myself a number of different things to do each day and each evening. But, you know, if people are comfortable being semi-reclusive, if people are uncomfortable staying in, quite happy. Somebody called themselves, not me, but they called themselves a homebody. And I really like that. I like that term. I'm a homebody. I'm comfortable being at home. And that kind of is me, I suppose, really. You know, as much as I like to go out and visit people and see people and things like that, and I do, and I always will, I'll do that forevermore. And it's not forced, because when I go out, I only go and see the people that I really want to go and see, link up with people that I really want to meet. So I tend not to put myself in difficult situations, so my brain doesn't really jump in and say, "Oh, you don't want to be doing this," because I'm going to meet a friend. I'm going to have a nice time. It's a pleasurable thing for me. So it's all good in my head. So there is no, warning signs, oh dear, harm, hurt, trouble, hassle. None of that comes into my head, because, as I say, it's all good stuff, you know. So I have a number of different things to do, is my advice, really. But certainly go and have a chat with your doctor, discuss how you've been feeling with your doctor, because there may be underlying sort of medical reasons, possibly not, but there may be. So it's worth having a chat, because at least you can either take, get something from that, or you can say, okay, well, that's good, I had a good chat and there is no medical underlying sort of things, so now I can start working on myself. And then, what is it you like to do in life? And if you've forgotten, what did you like to do? This staying in, this rejecting everything, hasn't always been you, has it? So what did you once used to do? Could you get back into that, or something similar? There's so many avenues that you could follow, really. It's quite exciting when you think about it, really. So what you've got, the biggest thing you've got, is hope, because it is quite exciting. You're now on this curve. You're now on this curve to say to your brain, shut up, I am going, I'm doing this. Take control, take charge, get out and about. That is my advice to you, really. It's a short life, and if you're unhappy with any aspect of your life, then you've got to change it. So a long video there. I hope some of that's helped. You can also contact me. If you want to contact me, there's several different ways. Just send me a short message through, you can send it through YouTube, you can send it through eBay. I got a comment from a lady last week, really lovely comment, and that was through eBay. And she didn't buy a painting or anything, she just contacted me. She said, "Bro, I didn't know how else to contact you," but and that was really lovely. So yeah, we're still conversing now. So you could do it that way. Through Facebook, if you're on Facebook. There's lots of different ways of contacting me, really, and underneath every single video there are links to to all of my stuff, really, Etsy and eBay and various channels that I've got on this wonderful platform we call YouTube. So you can contact me if you want to, and we'll talk more in depth. If you feel that might help, then that's great. I can do that for you. But apart from that, there's a lot that you can do yourself, and it is taking control, knowing that you don't have to be like this forever. You don't have to, because it's more learned behaviour than anything. And you can unlearn that behaviour. We all can. You just got to unpick it. Okay? I hope that's helped. I'll see you soon. Take care. Be well. Ta-da.